Welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is going to be my October 2021 update. And we're going to start off with some DVDs. And what we're looking at here is Legend of the Seeker Season 1. I previously picked up Season 2, because I found it for cheap, and I have now found Season 1 for cheap. This is a great kind of fantasy sword and sorcery series. It kind of gets overlooked, based on a series of books. It only lasted 2 seasons, but it's kind of like... It's actually by the same makers who did Xena and kind of Hercules and stuff, but I would say it's a little bit more adult than that, and it also has a little bit more of an overreaching kind of plot rather than the kind of the more episodic. But I think probably because it's based on a book, really. I really like it. It's a little bit more kind of adult than some kind of network fantasy kind of TV shows. And there you go. You should check it out if you like fantasy stuff. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is something I'm real kind of pleased about. So, obviously, for anyone who's a Marvel fan, will know that obviously the Netflix had a series of different kind of shows on there, including Daredevil and stuff. And so they kind of stopped making them, and they never actually released the Punisher series, the Defenders series, and kind of some of the later seasons of like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. So you can't actually get anything official from them, or can you? The answer is yes, you can. However, there is a little asterisk by this. This is actually the Defenders, which is essentially the kind of the culminative series of all the kind of the different singular heroes, except for the Punisher, joining up. Now, what this is actually it's officially produced, but it's actually a promotional item, and this was sent to voters. I believe it was the Emmys to essentially kind of like for your consideration, so voters could watch this sort of screener really, and then vote for it in outstanding drama and all these kind of different kind of subjects that you see here. It is the only way you can get an official release at the moment, at least, of the Defenders, and it actually comes in a kind of a nice kind of gatefold. It is a DVD rather than a Blu-ray. Actually, only 1 disc, and it's not the whole season. It's only like I think 3 episodes. But officially speaking, without kind of getting a bootleg, this is the only way you can get anything official from the Defenders Marvel TV show, and has a kind of, I'm not sure what the kind of the finish that they actually call it, but has like a velvety kind of like finish on the actual kind of cardboard. It's really nice and kind of actually a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. And we have the same sort of thing for the Punisher. Now, just to be clear, this is the John Bernthal Netflix Punisher, and this is a season 1 kind of, again, same sort of thing. A screener disc for the Emmy nominations, and it just contains a few episodes. And again, this is the only way you can get, at the moment at least, anything officially released from that Punisher TV show. And once again, it is a DVD, but it comes in a nice kind of like gatefold sleeve, and again, it has that kind of velvety kind of finish. Is the best way I would kind of describe it. So yeah, this is the only way you can get the other seasons and stuff for Daredevil and stuff. But I wanted to pick up the Punisher and the Defenders because at present you can't get anything for them, and I wanted something from them in my collection. Anyway, we're kind of sticking with Marvel, but we're moving on to a DVD steelbook. Now, this is the Wolverine and the X-Men, the first season. I believe this is a Canadian DVD steelbook. I'm not the biggest animation fan, to be honest with you. I actually quite like the style of animation on this one, and it has Emma Frost as one of the kind of the good guys here, which is the only series where she was. And I quite like it, Emma Frost as a character. Yeah, so it's the complete kind of first season on the DVD steelbook, and I've got a feeling it might have only ran 1 season, to be honest with you. I'm not really quite sure. Honestly, I don't really follow animation all that much, but I saw this for pretty cheap, and I thought, why not? Next up is, I bet you haven't seen this Tom Hardy movie. Yes, that's Tom Hardy. He was in this low budget, I believe it was made for Sci-Fi movie called Minotaur, and this is a steelbook. I believe it could be a Dutch or Danish kind of steelbook. And yes, this was kind of before he became famous. It's a 2-disc DVD steelbook. Yeah, Tom Hardy, Rutger Hauer, and Tony Todd. So pretty decent cast. And I always think, why haven't they kind of re-released this really, kind of to cash in on the Tom Hardy name? Because he is the main character. You know, it's not just like a little bit part for him. He is the main character, and it's a fairly decent, you know, sort of sword and sorcery, sword and sandal type movie. Okay, we're moving on to some Blu-rays. The first one is Frankenstein The Ballet. Yes, The Ballet. Truth be told, I actually bought this for a present for someone who is into ballet, but they don't have a Blu-ray player. And then I got this on eBay, and they said it was Blu-ray DVD, and it was only Blu-ray. So this person can't actually watch it because they do not have a Blu-ray player, only a DVD player. So I'm stuck with it. And I had a big old hoo-ha with a guy on eBay saying, well, you said it was DVD, so I assumed it was disc, you know, Blu-ray and DVD discs. But no, it's just a Blu-ray. So there you go. Frankenstein The Ballet. Okay, it is October, so obviously, you know, a couple of horror films in here. And this one is Yummy, which was a kind of, relatively, it's quite a recent zombie film about these, kind of a clinic that does kind of plastic surgery that kind of ends up getting a zombie infection. And this is quite a fun little zombie film. And yeah, so what I wasn't expecting with this one, because I got this off on eBay again, and I only saw this sleeve, but be prepared. Woohoo, boobies! Yep, I didn't know that had that cover on underneath, so that's quite fun. Anyway, so there you go, that is Yummy. It's quite a lot of sword and sorcery this month. Yeah, so here we are with Conquest, and this is Lucio Fulci's sword and sorcery movie, Conquest, Italian, sort of a fairly gory kind of like sword and sorcery movie, kind of akin to the kind of the Conan films, but it has a quite a fun. I've got a review up of this on the channel somewhere if you kind of want to watch it, and it has Sabrina Sayani in it, who was one of my fave kind of B-movie actresses, although she is in a gold mask the whole movie. And yeah, it's a kind of fun, silly kind of film, and you've got like a little poster in there. And actually 3 discs, so that's pretty good. So yeah, that's a nice little German media book for Conquest. Okay, so now with some steelbooks. So this is the Expendables 3, and this I believe is a Dutch steelbook. Now I have the Expendables 3 a few times, but I had never seen this design before. And you know, I thought, well, you know, I haven't seen that kind of that image before in a kind of a steelbook, so I thought I'd pick it up. It was relatively kind of inexpensive, and yeah, so there's another Expendables 3 to add to the Arnie and Stallone collection there. Okay, and here we go with the Assault on Precinct 13, the remake. Now, I'm going to be controversial here. I prefer the remake to the original. I personally think the original is somewhat overrated. I don't dislike it, I just think it's a little overrated, and I actually prefer this version. And this is a metal pack, and it's a pretty decent action film, even if you kind of take away from the fact that it is obviously a remake. But yeah, I've got Ethan Hawke in it, who's the kind of our main character. He's like a cop, and he teams up with Lawrence Fishburne's bad guy to kind of take out a group of, in this instance, corrupt cops. Okay, now we're getting onto some more of the bigger items. The first one here is a premium steelbook for Krampus, and this is a Christmas horror film, and I believe this is a Film Arena steelbook. Premium steelbook, limited to 750, and it has this kind of full slip, but it's got like a booklet and all that. I really like the kind of the traditional kind of like German sort of style artwork here. And I saw Krampus at the cinema, 2015 movie, and I quite enjoyed it. So, and I managed to pick this up for not too much money. And yeah, so there you go, the Krampus premium steelbook. Next up, we have XMen Apocalypse, and this is another premium steelbook with a lenticular slipcase, and this one was from Manta Labs. Now, I don't really like the Apocalypse movie all that much. I don't want to spend a lot of money on these kind of like these premium editions, but every so often you'll just luck into one which kind of goes for quite cheap. And this one, there was no other bidders on it, so I picked it up, and yeah, it was ended up getting it for quite cheap. Limited to 500 pieces. Mine is 444, and to be honest with you, it is just the kind of, it's not as if it's a case of it's different artwork. It's the same artwork on the actual steelbook, but you do get some kind of like cards in there, booklet and stuff like that. So I would have preferred if this had been different to the kind of the standard steelbook, but it isn't. But nonetheless, like I said, I didn't pay a lot of money for this one, so I'll kind of like, you know, I don't mind so much. There you go. Okay, the two big ones. These are the two big ones. The first one, Marvel's Avengers Endgame, and this one is again a premium steelbook from the company Wheat, W-E-E-T, which I think is actually a affiliate of Blue Fans. And this has this great kind of like edition, like kind of like shimmery, I don't know what you call it, holographic kind of slipcase. This one's actually sealed, so I'm going to be able to open it up for you. And this is limited to $9.50. And yeah, I'm you know, real happy to get this edition. I think it's fantastic. Love Endgame. Endgame's one of my favourite kind of Marvel films. I know a lot of people prefer Infinity War, but I actually kind of like Endgame the best. Okay, and the last one. This is a true Grail piece. And this is the John Rambo German edition that came out to the uncut version. And this came out and then got recalled because it wasn't kind of didn't go with the censors essentially. And this is one of the kind of like those Grail Blu-ray steelbooks that I was kind of looking at picking up, and I had my eye on a sealed one. And but then I found this one from a kind of a seller, and I just gave him a kind of an offer, and he took it. But it was unsealed, but I got it for pretty cheap considering. But this one is the important thing with this one. It actually comes with the temporary tattoo. So this was a Rambo tattoo that kind of came with them. And obviously this is a sort of one and done, so once you use it, it's kind of over and done with. So a lot of these don't have that. Now obviously mine isn't sealed, but it still has the kind of the temporary tattoo. It still has the kind of the outside stickers, and I got it for a lot cheaper than I would have done had I bought the sealed one. I'm not that kind of precious about it, to be honest with you, so I ended up getting this one. It still wasn't mega, you know, it still wasn't like a bargain bucket, but it was a lot cheaper than this normally kind of goes for. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this one. It's one of those kind of like real sought after kind of like pieces if you're kind of a steelbook fan, and obviously an action movie fan as well. And yeah, so that's you know, a couple of decent kind of, you know, pieces for the collection this month. So not loads, but obviously what I have got, I think is as Blu-ray Ben would say, quality over quantity. Anyway, what do you think of the pickups this month? Let me know, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.